So we are standing in our park right next to our giant forest, which is all overgrown. So Lincoln often has a way of just telling me things casually, like, oh, hey, by the way, you discovered something.
Right. I was on the French government website looking at property information, and I found our property. There was an option to download a spreadsheet with all the information related to the property. So I did that. And it had many, many fields of information. This particular property is made up of 8 or 10 lots, different lot numbers from way back in the day. They were old fields. I noticed that there was a designation on it that said Outbuildings of Historic Monument. And if you have something that's listed here, it doesn't have to be the whole place. It could be
sections.
one part of the property, or even one part of the chateau, or like an outbuilding or something.
Yeah.
Of course, that's something we were never told about when we bought the place.
I've read things previously that's not an uncommon occurrence, that you purchase a property and you don't find that out until after the fact. Usually you're supposed to find out all the pertinent information about your property when you go to the notaire's office.
Right, the notaire is an attorney that's working for the government to make sure that the transaction takes place properly and the taxes are collected and
they're a neutral party in the whole situation. That was an interesting bit of information that could potentially impact the entire project. The park we're standing in. We have a lavoir. These are our little Christmas trees.
Yeah. They are cute.
They are very cute.
I didn't realize there were so many of them.
Yeah. When is the last time we were back here?
That's not the big one, right? That's a different one.
Now this one's been down for a while. I've seen this one.
No, but
we didn't bring a chainsaw. Look, we have our own little forest of trees.
Tree farm.
We have our tree farm. And what I did discover is that the reason the Christmas trees are so inexpensive here is because they're grown locally. A lot of them are grown in Finisterre.
That's
Yep. That's been down for a while. So this is our little lavoir.
Actually, there is water.
Yeah.
Seeping out.
Yeah, we just need to bring if we can somehow get the tractor out here with the trailer and dredge this up.
Yeah.
It looks like part of our roof came down too. Yep. What we do need to do soon is cut these. It's just growing right into our building here. So this has got to come down like...
That's the stuff we don't want anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is really soggy here, see?
Yep.
It's flowing.
Yeah, usually it's...
Flowing slowly.
There's a good trickle, but not now.
Well, it might look different if we cleared all the leaves out of the way.
Yeah, so we've had some damage with the roof here. Yeah, look at that.
I haven't reached the bottom yet because it's slate on the bottom too.
Right. It's beautiful slate. Like where you're sitting, that's all slate.
Yep.
So this is an important thing we need to come and take care of. I think we said we were going to do this like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And we just never got around to it, but it's to the point where it's urgent. So get that chainsaw revved up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is the peak.
Yep.
I think it came down this way too, at least as far as where the water is for washing stuff.
Right.
So the people that were doing it wouldn't be...
Yep. It's a good project over the holidays. Have the kids come out with a shovel. We have a vivier. A vivier is a man-made fish pond. They stored the fish there back in the days, and someone would go out and get the fish and dinner. Yep. Sadly, our vivier is so overgrown from years of neglect. The previous owner received a quote of 100,000 euros to clear it. And we have outbuildings that we're currently working on.
Right. And additionally, for the park area, it had a description in French that meant something like pleasure area or pleasure grounds, like that this whole area was designated as being, not agricultural,
right,
just for people to have fun.
Right, and yeah, you have fun, and someone goes and gets the fish for you and brings it to you on a silver platter, and nobody's doing that for us at the moment, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I think the park in particular, I know there are, certain trees that are not common.
Right, right. Not non-native, yeah.
Sequoia trees and other species. So this is kind of an interesting
twist
to our story, if you will. As a property owner of a historic property, you can even opt in to listing your property. Mm-hmm. Like, for instance, we were discussing how the alley should probably be listed. I don't think it is, but that's sort of a significant.
Right. Well, it's unique, certainly.
Yeah, yeah, and not every chateau has an alley. Just trying to keep an eye on the dogs.
The dogs are wandering.
Yeah, I hear dogs in the background, but I don't know if they're hunter dogs or.
There's usually a bunch of them.
Regular, I know. Yeah. We always have to be on the lookout. So anyway, it's a really interesting thing. I know we've sort of been down a rabbit hole the last week or so, looking up everything, every kind of possibility. Mm-hmm. I know there are government grants you can get, there are tax write-offs. It's really something that we need to look into, and you are going to...
I'm going to get in touch with the notaire and send her the information I found and find out what it means.
Yeah, there they are. Good puppies.
That's something concerning because when you have something that's listed, there are restrictions on what you can do to it.
Right.
And what we've done so far, I think, is not a problem because we basically replaced all the beams with, we didn't change the style or whatever. We just replaced the things that were there with healthy versions, newer pieces of wood. Going forward, trying to get new windows and doors, trying to cut a hole in the wall to add a window, trying to add Velux skylights.
Yeah.
All of that might be quite involved as far as getting approvals. I've heard of people doing work that they didn't have the proper okay for, and they're told to undo it.
Yeah.
I mean, they say just undo it.
Yeah. So I think the safest thing is to definitely contact the notaire and just to do a cross check, because it does happen where things are not properly written down or recorded.
It could have just been that they knew the chateau wasn't listed.
Yeah.
And everything else might be.
I know. Well, it's a good thing we haven't done anything.
Right. I know.
Just when you told me that, I was like, what? Well, you have a lot going on in your brain, so I understand.
Yep.
So stay tuned. Hopefully we'll get some information. I don't know how long it'll take to figure this whole thing out, just to do cross checks, and everything with the government seems to take...
They're very deliberate.
Yeah.
They make sure they do it right.
Right, exactly. I mean, we believe that these beautiful buildings are probably 18th century, maybe earlier.
I think they're probably 17th century.
17th century.
At least these two. And this part of the barn seems to be the same type of construction. Mm-hmm. So So it's
So we just
do
don't want to
those
muck
three.
around with anything, and we want to preserve these because they're just so. This is my favorite building. This one, really pretty.
We need to get a metal detector too.
Yeah, we do. Put that on my Christmas list.
Yeah, you can go out metal detecting.
We had to pay a visit to the vet because Mimi wasn't looking too good. She wasn't eating and was quite lethargic. We were concerned her cancer had come back. She had squamous cell carcinoma on her nose about 2 years ago and was successfully treated. Thankfully, the vet was able to determine Mimi had an infection, which I believe was caused by this one. Waffle probably jumped Mimi in a dark corridor, scratched her eye, causing an infection. Mimi is currently on antibiotics and is feeling much better. She also has a chronic lung condition, which doesn't bother her now and hopefully won't get much worse over time. For those of you who don't know, Mimi was a barn cat when we arrived, and we've since taken her in to live a life of luxury inside of the chateau. We finally got into the walled garden to put fabric down to prevent weeds from growing around the perimeter, which gives me a little time to decide what I will be planting. Hello. Very muddy. I just don't know what to plant here.
Yeah.
You know, this is an area where we were thinking of putting some flagstone down or slate.
Yeah.
Having a little area to.
Like an outdoor kitchen, sort of.
Yeah, sort of like an outdoor kitchen. Because it's a nice corner. We have the wisteria. We were thinking maybe a pergola over here, and have the wisteria growing over it, and then, you know, slate, and just a little area where you can, I'm saying you can come and cook. You're not going to cook.
Can have a microwave?
You can have whatever you want out here. One of those, a kegerator?
Yeah.
Is that what you want? I think we've been both feeling like we're getting ahead of ourselves with certain things.
We have a bunch of projects that are sort of almost done.
Yeah.
And we need to complete those before we start new ones.
So I think we sort of got a bit ahead of ourselves with speeding ahead with the cottage, and we got the good stuff done.
All right.
At the beginning.
We saved it from falling apart.
Right, so that will continue. We just feel like there are some other things that are half finished. Mm-hmm. It always seems to be the case when you're going through one of these projects, is you get 85% finished, and then you leave that small little bit.
And it stays like that.
And it stays like that. So we are trying to complete some things in the garden. I have another bedroom to do for our daughter, our second daughter, our youngest. She has been dying for a room, and I put that off so long, and I'm at the point where it's just, you know, I look at her and it's like, oh, this sad little room, you poor little child. So we have some upcoming interior projects that I'm going to be working on. Mm-hmm. So we have our daughter's bedroom, and then we have a guest bedroom, which was already completed, but I'm not completely happy with it. Plus, we had a leak that came from a displaced keystone above the window, and we had some water coming in. So I need to fix a little bit of water damage, and then I'm going to redecorate that room because it's sort of really been bothering me.
Well, you know, once you live with something, you sort of,
you
either love it or you're kind of going to change it up.
Exactly. We feel like in the colder season, the interior is extremely important because we're in there all the time, so we're seeing it. So it's like,
you again?
Yeah. But look for a couple of bedrooms being completely revamped But we do need to sort of take a break and enjoy the holidays with our kids.
Right,
And we do have
definitely.
kids, and it's important to spend time together as a family.
Yes, yes.
And it's not all about YouTube and the clicks and the, I mean, we're like
Yeah.
real people. I think oftentimes people watch us and they think it's like a TV show. And it's like, well, how come you didn't do that? Or we want to see this. Or it's like, well, we are just two middle-aged
Yeah.
people who are trying to do our best. We have a huge project here, and
Yeah.
it's going to take a long time. And I guess what am I trying to say? Be patient with us. This is reality. This is actually our lives.
Right, right.
Shit happens.
Yeah. And we never intended to have all of this stuff done.
No.
Like lickety-split.
No.
We knew it was an undertaking, and we would have to pace ourselves.
Yeah, and it definitely is like, the old saying, it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Right.
We don't want to do stuff just for the sake of getting stuff done when it's done incorrectly or we're unhappy with it. So
Right.
we're just going to have to focus on our mental health, which is getting those projects finished. So
Yeah.
I think it leaves us in a state of confusion.
Well, right. When
Oftentimes.
when there's lots of things that are
Yeah.
unfinished and things piled here or there
Yep.
or whatever, it's just like, and you can't find stuff.
Especially laundry. I have like piles of laundry that need to be folded, and I don't think you guys want to watch me fold laundry on YouTube, but I do need to take time out to get chores done. And
There's probably a contingent of people that do want to watch that, but
oh yeah, but that would be like a weird that's a different genre maybe.
oh, a little bit for everyone, right?
I guess. Maybe people are into laundry folding, and we appreciate you guys watching us. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, and if you have something to say, leave us a comment.